is having a big argument with Saul about how he's king.
I cannot believe you, Saul!
Stop getting on me!
Oh my goodness. Do you know what you have done?
I've done everything right in this kingdom. What are you talking about?
I follow God and you have not been following God.
That is not true. I've done everything the kingdom wants me to do.
You took all those things from those people that the Lord told you to destroy.
I took what I wanted, and that is what God wants.
Saul. The Lord is going to take your kingdom away from you.
Impossible.
I'll go talk to God about this.
And so Samuel left, and Saul was very angry.
Very angry. Samuel was too.
Oh, Samuel was angry too, yes. So, God then called Samuel and said, Samuel, go and find the one who I have chosen to be the next king of Israel. Samuel, the king of Israel, is in this room, the son of Jesse.
God is speaking to me in this room. That's me.
God,
God, can it be this young lad?
Absolutely not. Never. In a million years, no. Not time.
Can it be this one? It has to be this one.
Not today.
What about this mighty and strong one right here?
Ooh, she seems worthy. But no. No, not her.
How many sons does Jesse have?
Lots of them.
Can it be this one?
No.
This one?
No.
Wait, this one again?
No.
This one?
No.
This one. Are there any sons left of Jesse here?
You better go check out the field.
Oh,
check
what is
out
that?
the
What is that
field.
thing in the back saying?
There's one in the field? We must go get him. Oh, look, he's right here. Come this way. Oh my God.
And so David came over and Saul anointed him by God's command with oil.
David? Take noise. As king?
And that day forth, David knew that he would one day become the king of Israel. But he was not the king yet. And so David went back to his sheep, and Samuel went away. Now many years passed, and David grew a little bit older. And in these days, the Israelites were under attack by the Philistines! That I said they were under attack by the Philistines! They were on a rampage of Philistines. They attacked with no mercy. And after a stalemate was reached between the Israelites and the Philistines, their great warrior Goliath came out with a proposition for them.
Any one of you can beat me in a one-on-one battle, we will be your slaves. And if I win, you will be our slaves.
And the Israelites were terrified. Now, during this time, David was tending his sheep and he was still very glad. But he came over to see what all the fuss was about.
Saul, what's going on? What's happening?
There's been a proposition.
What's the proposition?
The mightiest Philistine warrior has made a deal.
Okay.
He wants to fight our best warrior.
Oh,
And if he can be defeated, then they give up.
you know what? I should do that. I should defeat him.
Right.
Yeah, I can show you what I can do with God on my side.
Mine some armor. Let's go.
Okay, all right.
Now David did not go get armor, for he trusted God, and he picked
I
some
just need some
stones
stones.
from the river.
Oh, really?
David took his stones, and without fear, he approached the Philistines.
Oh my God.
And the Philistines laughed at him, for he was a tiny little man. Look how short he is, guys. Look how stupid he looks. How can he be a great warrior? There's no way. And then the laughing stopped, because I need to tell the story, thank you. And David continued with what he was going to say. And David struck down the Philistine with one stone, and he ran forward, and he took the Philistine's sword, and he chopped off his head with one swoop. And the Philistines were terrified, and they screamed, and they kept as they ran away. And so David became a mighty warrior, and the people sang his praises. And the people loved David, but it made Saul very, very jealous. For Saul was king. Who was this David to come in and take the hopes and the dreams of the people and become the great warrior? So Saul hatched a plan to simply get rid of David.
David!
Yes, Saul?
I have a proposition for you. This is my daughter.
Where's her daughter?
This is my daughter, Nicole. If you can go out and defeat 100 Philistines on your own, then you may have her as a wife.
So David left with no fear, but Saul knew that he would surely die.
Saul, I killed not 100, but 200. Can I have your daughter?
And Saul was very afraid of David's power. Saul knew that God was on David's side, and this only made the people love David even more. Now, in these days, harmful spirits would come upon Saul and torment him. The only thing, unfortunately for Saul, that could tame his wild brain was the beautiful playing of a harp by none other than David himself. And so he called David in and asked him to play his best song. Now, even though David was incredibly talented on the guitar, a harmful spirit took over Saul. He grabbed his beard and stabbed the wall behind him. And David ran, for his life was in danger. And for the next several years, David and Saul constantly were at odds. Saul chased David, and David had the chance to kill Saul. But David loved Saul and God and trusted God and decided not to kill him. Until they ran, and they continued to run for years and years. David grew old, and he grew a beard, which is all that choke over there. And again, old David had the chance to kill Saul, but decided to trust God and his plan and kept running. They kept running, even more. They continued to run. But then one day, the Israelites came under attack by Philistines, and there was a battle, and Saul had to go fight this battle. And sadly, in the end, the Israelites lost, and Saul took his own life. And so, after a few years of fighting over the crown and a bunch of random stuff that we're not going to get into today, but you can read the book of 1 Samuel if you'd like to hear more about that. David finally became king, and Saul was deceased, and Saul went away off the stage. And finally, Israel had a king who knew what God wanted and trusted God and was willing to do what was right. Because David never makes any mistakes. He's the man God chose. Nothing bad could ever happen to this kingdom, could it?
What?
But then, one fateful day, as David was pondering how much money he had and how amazing he was and how he had multiple wives, which is questionable. We don't really talk about that today. He had everything he could possibly dream of, and God promised to give him even more. But then he saw something that maybe he shouldn't have wanted. A beautiful woman. Her name was Bathsheba, and he thought she was very, very beautiful. And so David and Bathsheba, although they shouldn't have, because she was a married woman, spent a lot of quality time together. And after a while, Bathsheba realized she was pregnant. David knew that this would not fly. Newsweek would get a hold of this, and his crown would be thrown in a ditch, and nobody would follow him because he had done this evil act. And so he sent away Bathsheba.
Not good.
And he came up with a plan to have her husband dealt with.
I must do something. This is not good. I'm going to call the general. General, I need you to do me a favor.
There's no phone.
You need to put Bathsheba on Bathsheba's husband. He needs to go on the front lines. Do this one favor for me, please. Thank you.
And so he plotted the murder of her wife.
Oh my god.
And Bathsheba heard the news, and she came running, wailing.
Oh no, your husband's
She was
dead.
in terrible grief. But David was very joyed.
No.
Finally, David could take her as his wife.
You should be my wife.
And so she went away, grieved, and in despair over her dead husband. And David was very proud of himself. And he came back to center stage. He was very proud of himself, but one man was not proud of him, and that man was God. And God sent Nathan a prophet to deal his reckoning.
David!
Yes.
There were these two men, and one was rich and had everything he could have ever wanted.
Okay.
And he, just ripped everything he wanted. And then there was another man, and he was very poor, and he was just struggling. And he had this one lamb, this one precious lamb, and this rich man that had everything he could have ever wanted.
Yes.
Came and slaughtered
What?
this poor man's only lamb.
Oh my
This
goodness.
precious lamb.
What? This is outrageous.
And he ate him.
No. This man must be put to death. Who is this?
It was you!
What? It was me. What do you mean it was me? I didn't kill any sheep.
You had Bathsheba's husband slaughtered
Oh no.
just so that you could have Bathsheba all to yourself.
Oh Lord, I've sinned. Well, what's gonna happen?
Since you have asked God for forgiveness, you will be spared.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh.
But your child will die!
No!
So Nathan left, saddened deeply.
Oh.
Enter pregnant woman. And so, the best king Israel could have come before, David himself, was not enough. Even he failed as a king. It is eternal proof that only God can be a perfect king. The end. That's it. That is understood.